chubby little corgi. Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi after our whirlwind trip to New Jersey and back, hoping to beat this weather, which has now been postponed till this evening. I was afraid I'd be driving home in sleet, so came home yesterday to only discover that my neighbor, who has hemlock trees around her house, had one actually fall down and hit her house, ruining her roof, coming through the bedroom, and resulting in a Thanksgiving day full of insurance people and tree remover people coming in an emergency to button up her house because it's 5 degrees a couple of days ago here. So I am so glad trees are just falling on my fence and not on my house or my dog or myself. So I want to continue this idea of gratitude today because a lot of people are still celebrating their Thanksgiving. And of course, what is Thanksgiving about but thankfulness? And I heard an interesting thing on the radio on my way down. I love to listen to different public radio stations when I'm driving. And I have to tell you, it's not that easy to do it. Sometimes hard to find them. So there's a new book called Gratitude and Success. Or something like that. And so they were interviewing the guy that wrote the book. And of course there are, as my sister said, she had 12 gratitude and success books on her shelf, let alone the other 500,000 that are out there. But anyway, what this guy was pointing out was that having gratitude in your life leads to success in the rest of your life. And he had sort of a 4-pronged approach. I'm not sure I can remember all of them. But one of the first ones was in the morning before you even get out of bed, say to yourself, out loud or not, 3 things that you're grateful for right in that moment. I mean, to me, this seems so easy. I am so grateful for every single thing in my life. I did know someone once who had been homeless periodically and wasn't always happy about it. Some people don't have such an issue with that, but this person did on occasion. And she said just being warm in a bed, having had dinner, was a tremendous blessing in life. And it is. It's such a simple thing. We all take it for granted. So I think about that sometimes when somebody says to me, I don't know what I'm grateful for. So the first thing he says to do is in the morning before you get out of bed, say 3 things to yourself that you're grateful for. And of course, that can, when you have a dog in your bed, be really easy. And then one of the other things he suggests was saying to people in your life, 3 people every day, different people, this is hard depending on what your life is like, that you are grateful for them or that you appreciate them or that something they did inspired you. And the idea behind this is that if you put gratitude in the world, it brings good things to everyone around you. And if you can do 3 people and they do 3 people and they do 3 people, pretty soon we've reached lots of people. Now, for a lot of this is hard. Many of us work at home, we don't leave the house, or we don't see that many people. I mean, how many people, I have some people in my life that I'm really grateful for a lot of things that they've done for me. But do they want to get a phone call or a text message every day saying, thank you for blah, blah, blah? Not so much. So I try to do things like be grateful to people on Facebook. When people post anything that is positive, I don't care what it's about. I don't care if it's a cute picture of a kitten. I don't care if it's something positive about the people rescuing people at the fires, or even just somebody posting a beautiful picture of a nice day or a beautiful sunset. I write thank you because I am thankful. Anytime there's something positive in the public domain, it is a miracle for all of us, and I want to encourage more of that. So that's one way you can get that part of it done. And I know Linda Tellington likes to tell people that she spends, when she can't fall asleep at night or to help her fall asleep, going through the day and thinking of 3 things that she's grateful for. And she and her husband do that when they're together. They tell each other 3 things that they're grateful for, which I think is a wonderful way to bond with your loved one. And certainly I can tell Tristan things that I'm grateful for. But what Bernie Siegel suggests, because you work with him long enough, you become grateful for every single thing in your life. Bernie suggests going through the alphabet and trying to be different all the time and say, A, I am grateful for apples, and I am. Macoun apples are delicious, and I can only get them at this time of year, and they have to be fresh and crisp off the tree for their most tremendous flavor. Oh, you're thankful to me and my sister for educating you. Well, thank you, Jim, for listening. So, you can go through the alphabet and say things that you're grateful for. One of my first experiences with gratitude was to keep a little gratitude book next to my bed, and it was just a beautiful little tiny notebook I had. And somebody suggested this when I was going through a hard time, to write something every day, just one thing that I was grateful for, which at the time seemed kind of a lot of work. Now I could fill that book in 10 minutes because really I'm grateful for every single thing in my life. And at Thanksgiving, I have days go by that I only see Jean and the 3 dogs and our parrot. I know, that's why Facebook is a good place to be grateful. So I am really grateful for a lot of my Facebook friends. And one particular woman, Miriam, I just love her, and I haven't even met her, and she lives really far away, and she's got a bunch of corgis, and she gets all the rescued ones, and she's just wonderful in how she cares for them. And I'm almost going to cry just thinking about Miriam and how much I really am grateful for her. So a couple of things that gratitude does for you is increase your trustability. So the more grateful that you are, the more other people around you are going to want to trust you, because they can see that you appreciate them. And one of the things that I have as a gift in my life is an ability to reach people who are not very reachable. All of the people that are the bad coworkers, or for a long time I worked with people with schizophrenia. I work with tons of people with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I have an ability to be able to understand them and reach them and gain their trust. And I really think it's because I am grateful. And they see that I appreciate the good things about them. And I have been in such bad situations working with people. I mean, just, a bathroom situation that I cannot explain, the tremendous odor and difficulty with some elderly gentleman. And I'll tell you, you start pretty quickly to look for anything good in that moment, because otherwise you will not get through it without having like a nervous breakdown. And there are some people in life who those things are not disgusting to, but to me, it's super offensive. And so I look around and say, thank God for the clean paper towels that are over there, because I know that that's a bit of cleanliness in the room. And thank God for that pile of blue boxes of wipes over in the corner, because I love the color blue so much. So things like that. And then it allows that person to have their space, and they don't want to be in there making a tremendous mess with you either. Even if they do have dementia and they don't know what's going on, and I'm always grateful when it's contained. So I don't do that kind of work anymore, and I don't want to, but there is gratitude in every moment of every day. And I remember being tremendously upset, but it was a long kind of slow brewing kind of sadness when I had somebody in one of my early yoga classes years ago come up to me after class and say, I love your class, but I hate that thing you and all the yoga teachers do at the end where you say we have to be grateful. And I said, no, I don't say you have to be grateful. I say use this opportunity to see if you can find gratitude for something in your life. And she said, well, I'm not grateful for anything in my life. My life is awful, blah, blah, blah. And stormed out. And I knew her kind of well. And one of the things that woman has is a tremendous talent as a musician. Tremendous talent. I mean, really, almost world-class level in the instrument that she plays. And I was like, how can she not even be grateful for that? But, she has so many other things in her life that were bad that it really clouded her view. Grateful for your dog family and your human family. And, one of the things I'm grateful for regarding humans is I have not really a family, but a collection of people that are like-minded across the globe. And I think Linda Tellington feels this with regard to the many T-Touch practitioners. But these are people that I've met, like my friend Sandra, who I interviewed for the radio show, my friend Tracy out in Colorado, my friend Pam, and there's like a handful, 10 people that I know, my friend Leslie in Canada, these people their emotional support is so strong that I can feel them right now and in every aspect of my life. And they are, in a way, more than family to me, because we're all doing the same kind of work. We are all trying to make the world a better place for animals to be in. And that is a hard job. There are a lot of people that don't believe in helping animals, that don't think there's anything that can be done. But really, this like-mindedness that we share is a tremendous amount of strength when sometimes you feel like you're the only one walking up to some person with a service dog in a choke collar trying to pull an electric wheelchair out of a bog where the woman has not helped one bit, even using her feet. I mean, that takes a lot. And I sometimes have to call or text my spiritual family and say, help, help, I had to do this hard thing today. And, you know, they'll just say to me, what I would say to them is, that dog remembers that you helped him. And thank God you were there, because that was a bad situation. And who else can speak for him? So my spiritual family really, really matters to me, and I am grateful for them every day. So you get this increased trustability when you're grateful. You also get improved relationships in your life when you're grateful, because again, people can see that you see the good in them when you are grateful. Even if you're grateful for everything else but them, they can still see that there's some glimmer in you that appreciates them. And that leads to increased cooperation and increased closeness with people around you if you express gratitude. It also improves your health. One of the things Bernie Siegel used to talk about was they had done immune studies with people, actors, acting in tragedies versus comedies. And people who were acting in comedies had an increased immune system by measuring something in their blood, the white cells. And the people working in tragedies had a decrease in their immune systems. So that's pretty interesting, because actors are only taking on the lives and emotions and feelings and experience of someone else in a play. And you would think in their day-to-day life, and I'm sure many actors would say, no, you don't just walk out of that, you know, like your day-to-day life is changed when you're in a different kind of drama versus comedy versus musical versus not working. So that's a pretty interesting thing. So this idea of your improved health for gratitude can change your chemistry in your body. And plenty of people, and Bernie worked with lots of little kids dying with cancer at a time when cancer was not easily addressed, because he's an older guy now, he's in his 80s. And, you know, people were grateful every day that this is not the day I get chemo. I am grateful that I had Jell-O for lunch. I am grateful that my parents are here. I am grateful that the kid next to me is really awesome. I'm grateful that this kid down the hall made it through a night. You know, you can learn so much from a little kid with a terminal illness. And so that's a really important thing to look at when you're looking at the impact on your life of gratitude. And then what's the opposite of that? If people are feeling disgust, like if you were looking at some, like those people that I worked with that had schizophrenia, if I looked at them with disgust, revulsion, and fear, they're going to withdraw from me. They're not going to trust me. They're not going to want me to help them. They're not going to even for a moment make a connection with me, which is very difficult for somebody with schizophrenia to make any kind of a connection. So it's really impacting your whole life when you have that feeling of gratitude in your day-to-day life. It's going to improve your relationships, your success. People are going to cooperate with you. You're going to feel an increased closeness to everyone in your life, including your pets. So think about gratitude. Think about being grateful for 3 things in the morning when you wake up. Try to express gratitude or appreciation for 3 people in your life every day. And if you can't do it literally, do it figuratively, you know, or just silently. Thank the ladies that are standing in the grocery store ready to do your checkout. Thank the person that left that parking space for you, even if you don't know them and you can't actually jump out of the car and say, thank you for leaving. I really needed this space. I'm really busy today. You know, you can think that when you come across them. Or even on TV, when you're not even on the internet and you're not going out in the world, you can still say, thank God they made this show. Thank God this show is so funny. Thank God this show comes into my home. Thank God somebody invented television. You know, these things are all parts of our day-to-day lives, and they have an impact on us. And if you can feel gratitude, you can make a change in your life too, and for your pets as well. And I do think that when people that I know who have several pets, if they really, really love one pet, like at the farm where I worked, the woman that was taking care of the horses there on a daily basis, there were some that she really loved and some that were just there, and one or two that she thought were not so great. But that kind of attitude impacts those horses, and the horses that she liked did better under her care, and the others did not flourish as well. And you could see there was just something different in them. So if you've got a whole pack of dogs, make sure that you have time alone with each one and show appreciation for each one, because they all have gifts for us. Everything in our life has a gift for us. So no matter it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've never met a person who has had cancer. Well, I shouldn't say never, maybe rarely met a person who has had cancer or a life-threatening illness who has not gained valuable life lessons from that they would not trade for anything. So thanks for joining us today on this Saturday for a look at gratitude. And we will be back tomorrow morning. Tristan loved his Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, well, this is lavender. I like this color. Oh, thank you, Danny. I'm grateful that you're there watching. You're like the guy that comes to my yoga class always. I mean, I have people come and go. He comes every time. And if I'm only there for him and me, it's worth it. And you, Danny, are there every time. And if I'm only here for the two of us, it's still worth it. Although I could just phone you. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. Enjoy your leftovers. One of the best things of Thanksgiving, I think, are those wonderful turkey sandwiches. And I love that old episode of Friends that gets Ross fired, where Monica makes him a sandwich with turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and gravy, the moist maker he calls it, and somebody at work steals it and he goes nuts. I think it's his boss. And he gets fired because someone stole his turkey sandwich. And anytime he talks about it, he gets outraged. So as you're going through your day, enjoy your turkey sandwich and be glad your boss isn't taking it. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great day.